Hola, ¿qué pasa? To whoever is watching this video. My name is Kayla K. The K is for Kendall. My middle name is Monet, like Claude. And I am going to tell you a little bit about myself today. I'll start off with my experience. So I got my start in food service and coffee at Starbucks, and that was right out of college in 2019. I worked there for 2 years. I worked at a cafe in Greenwich, and then I worked at a drive-through location, which was in Stamford, and that's where I'm from. Um, from there, I decided that I wanted to work at a smaller coffee shop, something a little bit more simple, maybe some coffee and some pastries, and not all the frappuccinos and refreshers and prepackaged food that we were serving at Starbucks. I kind of felt like I was just like a robot, like just pumping out products for people, and I made some great connections, and it was really a great experience working for Starbucks. But I just again wanted something a little bit that focused on coffee, the art of making coffee, roasting coffee. And so I started working at this spot called Turning Point Coffee Roasters, and it was also a wine bar. So I worked there for 2 years, a year as a barista, and then about like 8 to 9 months as a manager. We lost our manager, and I was next up, and was the most senior person. So I took the position, and it was pretty decent. But at that point, I was commuting from Stratford because I had moved with my parents here, and so it just wasn't ideal for me to commute anymore, and just also wanting something new. And so I found a job here in Stratford at a tea shop called Open Door Tea, and I have been working for that place since last November. I guess, yeah, the year before last, because it's been a year and like 2 months. My last day was actually this past Thursday, and that's just because again I'm trying to get back into coffee. We make mostly like we serve coffee there, but it's mostly tea, and we're just kind of doing a lot. I will say, I'm not opposed to working, but in a given day I was taking orders, fulfilling the orders, serving, sometimes cooking, sometimes prepping, bussing tables, and washing dishes, and that was like kind of a lot. And then after all that, you have to like close the shop up, or I started in the morning and I opened the shop, so it's pretty exhausting. I'm a hard worker, yo, so like I could do it, but there's a point where like I'm it's too much. And I also work at a bar called Elm City Social. So I was doing that along with working at Elm City Social. So sometimes I had like doubles, like on Thursdays and Fridays. And that was just a lot for my physically and mentally sometimes. And so just want something a little more simple, something that just, again, back to coffee, some pastries. I see you guys have some food. And then you guys also have some cocktails, which I feel like is awesome considering I'm about to start training to bartend, because I'm bar backing right now at Elm City Social. So I'm like, yo, this kind of aligns perfectly. As far as like my availability, I'm free Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays until 4, Fridays until 3, just because I work at the bar at 5, and Thursdays, same thing, I work at 5. And then Saturdays are tough for me just because I get off of work at like 3, 4 in the morning from the bar. So when I get home, I'm asleep until I have to work at 5 on Saturday night. So again, Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays till 3 or 4, Fridays till 3 or 4, and then Sundays would work for me. And I'm looking to work full time, like I guess like 25 to 30 hours, up to 35 hours if you can. I'm trying to get this money. I'm trying to save so that I can travel. But I'll be with you guys for at least a year and maybe a little bit more. So you don't have to worry about, somebody leaving or me leaving after a couple months. Like when I work for at least a year. That's always my goal. No matter how much, I'm not going to lie, I want to leave sometimes. That's just something that I do for myself. As far as what I like to do for fun, I love to listen to music. So I have my headphones in right now. I love music so much. It's really like beyond words. I can't really like articulate it, but I love music, and that's the best way. Really, it's just something that I feel in my heart, that I'm here to make music, DJ, and that's how I connect with people. And I love to dance. I love watching cartoons. I love taking long walks. Like right now, I just walked from my house, about a 25-minute walk, down to the train station in Stratford. But I'm going to the library, so I'm going a little further. But I just like to walk. It's good for my mental. It helps to keep me grounded, to be outside, because I definitely tend to, live kind of in my head in the clouds, like suspended. But I'm also a very down-to-earth, practical person as well, because much as I have all these dreams and these goals, I know that it requires a lot of groundwork, and just the belief in self. And so it's like a mixture of those two. So I'm like a balance. I'm trying to keep a balance of both of those. Keeping my feet on the ground, but also my head in the clouds. It's important. Interesting hobbies. I like to daydream. I don't know if that's like a hobby, but I consider it a hobby because I kind of do it a lot. Like I set aside time so I can literally dream about the things that I want to do and imagine myself in certain scenarios, because I feel like that precedes the fruition of those dreams, if you will. As far as my favorite dinosaur, I would say Littlefoot from Land Before Time, or Ducky, but no, Littlefoot, like the GOAT. And yeah, I think that was all the questions. Oh, and why I think I'd be a great candidate or I'd make a great fit at Koffee, other than like it starting with a K and me being Kayla Kendall. I'm a great worker and a great barista, and other than me being able to do the job, I'm a cool person. I like to connect with people. From what the cafe looks like, I've seen pictures online. It's kind of eclectic, quaint, eccentric, like all of those things in one. And I think that's really dope because that kind of is me. And yeah, like I think that it would be a good fit. But you never know, of course, So I hope to talk to you more about that if you like what you're hearing and you're seeing in this video. And thank you for your time.